Milo, you coming? No? You don't want to be on camera? No? Okay. Hi everyone, welcome back to our YouTube. So today I thought I would just make our lighting a bit better. Teddy needs it to just iron out his blemishes. Milo just jumped on the table. I feel like we're about to lose something. Today I wanted to do a video kind of explaining what we're doing house-wise, as we've had a lot of comments on recent videos about all the boxes and stuff. So in case you haven't seen, we are currently in the process of moving house. Here he comes. He's gonna sit right in front of the camera now, just wait. Milo. Milo. Go over here, my love. There. You go there. Yeah, so we are currently in the process of moving house, and we decided to sell chain free because we've never been in a chain before, just that so much of our following is US, and I don't really know that, from what I see on like Selling Sunset and all the other reality, Buying Beverly Hills and all of the other reality shows, is escrow and how like you move in within like a month and it happens really quick, and you know, cash buyers and all that kind of stuff. And that might be like the elite Hollywood, but here it's not like that at all. Best case scenario, if you don't have a house to sell and you are buying on like a new build estate where nobody lives in, you're looking at least 3 months to complete a house sale. And then, you know, if you've got a house to sell, then you enter into a chain, and I think the average chain in the UK is like 10 is considered a small chain, 10 people to 10 different houses selling at the same time to complete. And anything above 10 is considered a larger chain, whereas to me it'd be like 2 or 3 would be considered a small chain, and anything above that would be considered a large chain. But yeah, so once you're in a chain, things get a lot more complicated and a lot more long-winded, like they can take years. I think the best case scenario is like 6 months. Teddy, stop it, sit down. I think the best case scenario is like 6 months. Average is like 12 months. That's not unusual for it to complete. And yeah, it just doesn't seem like it does on the TV shows that we see in America, and it's very normal in the UK. So we've never done a chain before. When we left, Manchester was our first house, the house that, if you were with us for a while, you would have seen the old house. We didn't have a chain on that one. We were first time buyers, and then we didn't sell that one to move here, so we didn't need to. So we were, again, and this house was vacant, nobody was living in it. But this house I think still took nearly a year to complete because it had some other issues with it. We had to get some planning permission for the shed and some other bits in order for us to complete the sale. But yeah, so we've never been in a chain before, and we were quite hesitant to do so because you might lose the buyer. Yeah, so we didn't want to lose the risk of the chain breaking at any point, because, again, I might be explaining it, it might already know everyone, but you know, you've got one house. I sell my house to buyer number one. Buyer number one has to sell their house to buyer number two. Buyer number two then needs to buy a house and pick a house, and it keeps going on and on until everyone's picked their house that they want to buy, and someone breaks the chain by saying that they don't need to buy another house at the end of it. They're stopping the chain. They're selling and going into rented, which is what we did, or what we are currently doing. Our intention was to sell and go into rented accommodation and then buy another house, hopefully chain free. That hasn't exactly worked out. So we have sold this house. We expected it to take a lot longer than it did, because for us it took a year, but we needed planning permission, whereas we got all that to go through. So it's a really easy sale for us. And yeah, so the buyer, it completed a lot quicker than expected. And I don't think I anticipated, I haven't rented since 20, I was 20, I'm 34, 35 now. So I haven't rented in 15 years. And we live in a remote countryside, real back end of nowhere. So there's lots of like countryside houses and everything else. And I just thought we'd be able to rent somewhere nearby with a bit of land. It wasn't necessarily money that was the challenge, you know, the cost per month, because we're in the country, it's not super expensive anyway. But I didn't anticipate and I'm going to kick myself here, the issue of having pets with renting. I thought you just need to pay an extra deposit. That is not the case. No matter how much money we seem to offer landlords per month, extra deposits, I've been offering them to come to my house currently and tour it and see we've got automatic hoovers, we've got automatic litter trays, we've got automatic lawnmowers. All we need now is an automatic poop scooper, and we've got everything automated in our life that you could need to with pets. And I tried everything to get somebody local to rent to us, simply because I want to keep Amelia in school and Nathan in his nursery where they're settled. I don't want to disrupt their routine until we know what we're doing and what our next move is. But yeah, I didn't really think it through as to, obviously, we've got dogs, we've got cats, we've got goats. That limits the search very much. I just assumed that, if you live in the country, the majority of people have dogs. Like, on average, I googled it when I was trying to convince a landlord to rent to us. 60% of UK households have a dog. I don't know, I didn't do Google cats and obviously not goats, because that's going to be few and far between, but the majority of people have dogs. And if you live in the countryside, I'd hesitate a guess that is even more than that, because then you've got the land and the ground and everything, you're not in there's no apartments out here. You're going to have a dog. So I just assumed most people would have dogs, but the minute you get on the phone to like estate agents or landlords, it's like, oh, is it a small dog? No. Is it a large or medium size? And I started saying that they were medium size and that they were huskies, just to see if I could even just speak to the landlord. This is just to try and get through an estate agent. And then I started explaining how old my dogs were. They're not puppies. I tried explaining the house that we're coming from. I tried explaining like how much extra per month I'd be willing to pay for the grace of being able to live there, how much extra deposit, the lengths that I went to, and I couldn't get over the hurdle of the estate agents to speak to the property owners to try and get them to meet with us or come for coffee with us or meet the dogs on a walk or anything, because it's not like, I couldn't do anything to get them to convince us. The only thing I didn't do was mention, please watch us on social media. You can check in on your house every single day if you want to. We post up daily. It was getting to the point where I was going to have to mention that and be like, please. But yeah, well, it is getting to that point, let's just say, because this house is expecting to complete this month. They want to complete and be in by April. I'm not sure when this video is going to go out, and we'll announce this. And we've been chasing for about a month now, trying to find somewhere to rent, and nowhere will rent to us. We, at this point, could be homeless, but we do have the camper van and storage facilities and stuff, but that's not going to work. But the fundamental goal is to get back to near Manchester, but still countryside living, near family, because what they say about how it takes a village is true. It does take a village, and just being out here so far away from everything, whenever family do come to visit, you want to spend time with them and do stuff with them, but also we have no babysitter, we have nothing like that where me and Shane used to go cinema or go movies or anything. It's been 2.5 years that we've lived here, and we've never done that unless we've taken the kids with us. There's nothing, there's no family, there's no village. And how many years does it take to form that, your old friends and all of that, to build trust? Or I don't know, I just feel like whilst it appears to be the ideal life in the countryside, it's very lonely, it's very isolating, and when family do come over, we get very sad when they leave, because then we're alone again. So then we'll find reasons to have or go over to them, or for them to come to us, or it's not exactly given us what we wanted it to give, I think. And obviously this is the house that we lost Phil in. This is the house we lost Dexter in. There's a few key life events that have happened here that are just, well, Phil being the major one. Are you leaving me when I mentioned Phil? Oh, bye, Teddy. Bye. You're just looking at me in the door. Yeah, so there's just a few things that have happened that make you, like when we lost Phil, for example, we didn't have anyone to watch the kids. The kids had to come with us when Phil was put to sleep, and then just the emotional toll of no one for us to lean on, but also having to be there for the children. And that just one example, for example, everything is that much harder when you don't have your village around you all the time. And we miss that so much. And actually this big house, this beautiful house in this beautiful location, in this wonderful community, isn't what we had hoped for, and it's lacking something that actually we consider to be quite important for our own happiness. So we need to figure out our next move of where to buy, and what to buy, but for now we need to get into rented. And right now, rather than focusing on our priority of buying a new house, we are focusing on finding a temporary house to live in while we find that new house. So as I'm filming this, we are currently homeless. We have 3 weeks until we are homeless. We couldn't move back to Manchester even if we wanted to straight away, because we have to give notice to tenants in order to do that, but could obviously move in with family or live in our motorhome for a bit. So yeah, we just need to figure out a lot, and the pressure is now seriously on us. And my one goal is to right now find somewhere to rent in our community, local to us, so that our kids can stay in their routine. And it disrupts our lives, but it doesn't disrupt the children's lives. Amelia's in her first year of school, Nathan's in his first year at nursery. They are forming them bonds. Oh my gosh, look at Teddy's hair, sorry, I've just seen that. When he was on my lap and I was stroking him, beautiful. My biggest thing is I think changing schools or disrupting the routine might affect their confidence. And we've got 2 very confident children, and I'm so proud of that, because I'm not a confident person. Shane's really confident, I'm not. I'm shy, I won't speak to anybody. I won't stop on a street to ask somebody for directions. I've got major social anxiety, which it makes zero logical sense because we post on YouTube and I could talk to 1 million subscribers, but I couldn't ask a random stranger on the street for help if I needed it. I would rather die. Teddy's just at the door watching me now. Hi, you coming back? I forgot the point that I was making at this moment because he's just too distracting. But yeah, I thought we'd document this journey of where we end up and what happens. If you do have any questions, there's probably quite a few. This probably comes as a shock for some, but I will try to answer what I can. We'll probably do a Q&A later on, but I just kind of wanted to explain where we are, why we're doing what we're doing, and this might be something to watch back on in 3 years' time, or something to... just the fear of not knowing what your next move is and what your plan is. I've never had that before. Yeah. Anyway, Milo's come to say hello and do his little cameo, as he always does. He knows when the camera's out and he has to get involved. Oh my goodness, has Nico just come? Nico, is that you? Come here! Nico came upstairs. Oh, Nico! Hi, come here. Say hello to everybody. Oh, she's gonna knock the table over. Neeks, say hello. Say hi. Good girl. Hi. I need to lower you. Here's Neeks. Nico, you coming up? Come on, Neeks. Good girl, Nico. Come on. Good girl. Hello. Nico, this side. Nico. Good girl. You're such a little snuggle bunny. And that's why landlords won't rent to us. Yeah, so let us know if you have any comments or questions. I'm sure there's loads. I will try to answer what I can as and when we know, but a lot is so unknown at the moment. It looked like I was choking it then, I wasn't, I was just resting my arm on it. But yeah, I will keep you guys updated as and when we have a bit more progress, but kind of just wanted to explain UK chains and why I can't even really explain to you why it takes so long. It's just shocking. It's just everything gets stuck with solicitors and land registry. That's my understanding anyway. Oh, Nico, stop growling at Teddy. She's telling him not to get on the sofa. But yeah, we will update you as and when we can. And yeah, drop us a note if you do have any questions. Stop it. Stop it. There's no need. There's just no need, Nico. There's just no need. You say bye? You say bye-bye? Bye guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you all soon.